All right, let's go to headline number 5. We're going to talk about another instant delivery provider here. GrubHub is partnering with 7-Eleven for a new convenience item delivery service dubbed GrubHub Goods. According to Yahoo Finance, GrubHub is teaming up with 7-Eleven to offer on-demand convenience delivery through the GrubHub app. They did a successful pilot in Manhattan, and GrubHub Goods will launch nationwide on February 15th, just launched, offering delivery to more than 3,000 locations in the U.S. To celebrate the launch.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Like many other instant delivery providers we've seen, give some pretty impressive discounts. GrubHub is offering customers 50% off of orders $15 or more. David, why is 7-Eleven going at it this way?
Yeah, so I think there's two things here, right? I think from the GrubHub angle, like, could you be later to the party, right? 7-Eleven party partners with Postmates, Instacart, DoorDash, et cetera. So, 7-Eleven's got more doors than anybody, so they kind of had to do it, but it feels just very late and a little bit desperate from the GrubHub side. Mm-hmm. I think for 7-Eleven, it's much more interesting, right?
Yeah,
they have their own delivery service, 7-Eleven Now, which they have to partner with people as you get it up and running. But I think that what they're facing is, if you look at some of the startups, particularly on college campuses, like like a GoPuff or a Snagit or something like that are, Snagit in particular is kind of impressive because they're doing 10-minute deliveries, guaranteed. Whereas some of the others are 30 minutes. And, when you want, like, okay, that bottle of water, or I got a hangover and I need aspirin, or, whatever. And you can take that in a lot of different requirements in terms of what you might need in 10 minutes. To me, it's 7-Eleven trying to figure out how I get that customer promise down to, its lowest common number. That's going to make sense. And it feels a little bit like a bridge solution to me, until they, kind of buy one of these startups and just implement it that way. They're going with the big players until they can figure out their long-term solution.
So do you think that's interesting? So do you think this is like kind of like a little bit of an experiment, wait and see approach to see how much demand's even really out there for this quick delivery thing too? Because you're right, it is in stark contrast to the 7-Eleven 7 Now Gold Pass that they announced was 3 weeks ago, right? Which was 30-minute delivery. Like, you're doing that and then you're doing this as well. It seems weird. Like, I don't understand why you would do that. So your point is that they're kind of just surveying the landscape here to see what this is all about.
I think so. I mean, why not sign? You're already on the platform with everybody else, right? So adding GrubHub to it is you have to, right? It's like it's just another it's another door for them.
And we don't know, GrubHub could be servicing 7 Now too, like quite possibly, right? Like, this is just something that they're just doing together anyway, right? Okay.
Chad, what do you think? Weigh in here.
Yeah, so as a former C-store operator in one of those businesses, it's first of all, it's great to see 2 convenience-oriented headlines in the stories this week. But, I mean, I agree with you guys. Like, this one left me flat. Like, I expected to see something within the story that was new and appealing. I mean, it just seems like every week there's some sort of one-upsmanship in the world of ultra-fast delivery. Yeah, These guys are 30. These guys are 15 minutes. These guys are 10. Blink and it's there. These guys are on bikes. These guys are on hoverboards. These guys have metro fulfillment centers. These guys have kiosks. Like, and it was just okay. So I agree with David around the provocative thought then of like, okay, well, where is 7-Eleven going, right? And so, and where should they go? Because where we see a lot of activity happening within this is in densely populated urban areas. It seems like if 7-Eleven can figure out the suburban landscape, and I don't think it's through this, it's through a next move. Like, that could be some next level stuff, right? Yeah. And so hopefully this is an appetizer into something bigger, kind of get the lay of the land and then figure out the suburban play where others have not been able to do, because that seems like the biggest white space.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is a great deal for GrubHub. If this works for them and for 7-Eleven, GrubHub suddenly has 9,500 plus dark stores in the US alone that they can be pulling from with 7-Eleven. Some of those may be closer to the suburbs, like you're saying, Chad, but it really does make them a stronger contender against like the Uber Eats, the DoorDashes, who are already running this model, which is great for customers because I get dinner and convenience items with one membership. So, I mean, that's where the customers are really winning here because they now have access to all of these items and more choice than, just the few that are out there that are able to do ready to eat food and convenience items. And I think 7-Eleven gets to test this. They get to see, like you were saying, David, they get to see, whether or not this is the right model, or if they're losing too much of that one-to-one connection with the customer. But
that's a good point, Ann. Like it's a defense move against DoorDash with Dash Mart and the Dash. What's the add-on Dash? What's that thing called where you can add on the convenience items to your food order as well. So yeah, that's a great point. I hadn't thought about that in terms of the connection with GrubHub.